In this next step, we're going to alter some of the variables that are set inside of the variables table in our database. Now, a lot of information is stored in this table, and you can get a sense of what's available for overriding by looking at the components available through Strongarm. So we installed the Strongarm module in order to set certain variables inside of our feature module. And if we take a quick look at our feature, I'm going to jump back to the browser and go to Structure, Features, and then for example blog feature here, let's go ahead and click on Recreate, just so we can see what's selected for it and what other things we could select for it. I'm going to scroll down to the Edit Components section here, and I'm going to select Strongarm Variable. Now if we scroll here, we can see all of the variables that we can hard code into our feature module, and you can see several are selected that have to do with the blog. Now sometimes it's hard to know exactly what items are stored in the variables table, so taking a look at this list will give you a quick sense of what you have to work with. The two variables that we're going to override here, if we scroll down, are comment form location blog entry. So this determines where the comment form for the blog entry displays, either in line with the text of the blog entry or on a separate page. And then we're also going to change the comment preview blog entry, which sets whether the preview button displays or doesn't display for blog entries. Now you can see, because both of these are checked, that they're being controlled by our feature module. And the process of overriding these is one of the most straightforward ones that we've looked at so far. So I'm going to jump to our blog override module folder, which again is in our site's all modules custom folder, which we copied over from our resource pack. And I'm going to open up the 7th step, which is called override variables. And I'm going to go ahead and copy the entire code and paste it over the code that's currently in our blog override.module file. And I'm going to save it. This code here at the bottom is what's being added. We're implementing the hook function hook strongarm alter. So the function name is blog override strongarm alter, and it gets past a list of the different variables that we can adjust. Now you can see here the key is the name of the variable that we're going to adjust. And then we're taking the value property of this, which is an object, and just setting it. So there's not much to it, especially if we're dealing with Boolean values here, and so it's a 0 or 1. And we're simply modifying this value to 0 for both of these items. So if we look at the way that our current form is set up, I'm going to go back to our blog page by clicking the home icon and then clicking our blog menu tab. If we click on this blog entry and we scroll down, we'll see that the comment form is currently displaying below the content. We're going to change it to display on its own page. And then this preview button now is going to disappear. Now, because all of the variables are stored in a cache, in order to get our hook function to run, we need to clear our cache. So I'm going to go ahead and go up to Configuration, scroll down to Performance, and then clear all caches. When that's done, let's go ahead and close the overlay. It will refresh the page, and we see now that our comment form is gone, and we can click this to add a new comment. And now our preview button is also gone. Let's go ahead and set a breakpoint in our hook just to take a look at the structure of this items variable. So I'm going to set a breakpoint, and we're going to go ahead and clear our caches again to trigger the hook. I'm going to go to Configuration, Performance, and then I'm going to start a debugging session. You can learn more about this in the first video about overriding features. And I'm going to clear all caches. Okay, I'm going to jump back to my editor, and we have the yellow arrow, which means that we've stopped here. And now we can take a look at this items variable. I'm going to expand it, and now you see we have each one of the permissions that are currently being strong-armed or that are currently being overridden through a feature module listed here, and we can adjust them. So it's important to note that we can't adjust any variable this way, just the ones that are being strong-armed. If we expand one of these, we see a few properties, of which we'll probably only be adjusting the value or disabling it. So when an item here is disabled, it defaults back to the value of our site rather than the value that's being set by Strongarm or by one of our feature modules. Okay, let's go ahead and close the debugging session and move on.